What's going on, good people? It's your good man, Tone Space. Now, check this out. You may have heard about this story already about these strange clouds, and anomalies over the California skies that look like this. Now, I've seen this before. Now, this, according to official story, what we are looking at right here in this picture, what people saw in California was a SpaceX launch or a shuttle launch or a trail of some sort that's left behind after that's done. Now, the interesting thing is this comes shortly after the Pentagon, the U.S. government or whatever, has disclosed that they've been studying anomalies of UFOs. They've spent upward to $22 million since 2007 studying UFOs based on actual data and footage that they have of objects that just look bonkers, that they're like, this is a flying object that we cannot identify, thus a UFO, right? So that recently came out. Interestingly, all this info comes out during the winter solstice, December 21st. Now, anyone familiar with the Masonic order of way things are done or anything of that type of knowledge or mystery system, so to speak, you would know that during summer solstices, winter solstices, certain days, interesting things are carried out or agendas are pushed forward or even bills are passed or anomalies like this will be seen in the sky or in worst case scenarios, terrorist events that many could deem false flags through proof or just speculation itself. A lot of this stuff happens during times like this. That was me. Some of you may already know I am a subscriber to the flat earth theory. In fact, I'm a subscriber to the flat earth theory to the point where to me it's not even a theory. I consider it flat earth fact, but I'm not trying to push the agenda of it being flat earth fact to any of you guys. But I do suggest that you do look into the theory of the earth being flat, and with the earth being flat comes space itself not existing as we're told it is supposed to exist. Now, you're looking at me, you're seeing my name, Tone Space. You can guess that I was a big, huge space fan. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to explore past the limits of anything. Andromeda, Orion, System Belt, all that fly shit. I wanted to go there myself, there and beyond, even if I have to spend the rest of my spend the rest of my days there, so be it. My Orion days, my Andromeda system days. But, so it was a shock to me, somewhat of a shock, somewhat of a world-changing thing to find out that space itself does not exist as we're told it exists, right? So what does that mean with a SpaceX launch and seeing a trail or some anomaly in the sky like this that's considered to be after a rocket ship launch? Well, me knowing, I use quotes to say knowing because it's my belief that space doesn't exist, it makes me wonder, well, then what are they really doing? What are these launches really up to? You can look it up. You'll find out that every space launch that you find, when the rocket goes up, it always arcs. And it arcs out of view. And they always do these space launches in places that are near water, that are near ocean, so that when it arcs out of view, there will not be a city or anywhere to see where it's going. So this way it could just keep on going and just land in the ocean, I believe. Now, they claim that it arcs because it's going with the rotation of the Earth, and it's using that rotation of the Earth to arc with it to give it like a magnetic or a gravitational boost as it flies and shoots off into space. Just look all this stuff up. NASA, some of the easiest shit to debunk. But let's go on. There's a couple more things I want to touch on. Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam. Look up Project Bluebeam. What it is holographic abilities that the government has, that the U.S. government has, probably the world government to be has. You might even look up and see anomalies like whole cities in the sky. Those are considered to be Project Bluebeam 3D projections, right? And so the ongoing theory with Project Bluebeam is that the world, the US or whomever, is going to fake an alien invasion and actually fake landings or anomalies in the sky or UFOs in the sky. And in reality, it will just be a projection from Project Bluebeam, from their technology that can fake this stuff in the sky. Some even go as far as to say that Jesus Christ's return will be a Project Bluebeam projection. And yes, people even go as far as to suspect that Mel Gibson will be playing Jesus Christ in his Project Bluebeam premiere. We'll just have to wait and see for that, right? Another interesting thing. I also believe the moon landing is a hoax as well. Now, here's the funny thing. When you really look into this, right? Flat Earth, it sounds outright bonkers. It sounds like I'm nuts. It sounds like I'm off my noodle. It sounds like, yo, where are you? You're like, welcome to 500 years ago. What the fuck are you talking about? Even the moon landing to a degree. Now, a lot of people that believe in ball, space, and Earth do believe the moon landing is fake because there's so much proof against it. But even that sounds fantastic. But here's the interesting thing. If you look at most conspiracy theories, now this is just a philosophy of mine. Most conspiracy theories are usually based on the fantastic. Even aliens. Aliens could be a conspiracy theory. Oh, it's aliens, Draco's in the land trying to enslave us, the reptilians, everything. That sounds fantastic. That sounds weird. That sounds different because it's not practical in our day-to-day lives. But when you really look into the flat earth theory, you'll find out that the theory in itself is very practical. It's based on your own observation in human nature. And then you realize that space and bald earth that spins at 1,000 degrees and revolves around the sun, and then the sun and all those planets revolve around the Milky Way galaxy, and then the Milky Way galaxy darts across the universe at intense million miles per hour speed and infinite space and trillions of miles away. You will find out that that's really the fantastic shit. That will sound more like a conspiracy to you and sound like some what the fuck than the earth just being flat, stationary. What goes up comes down. There is no gravity. There's just buoyancy and density. You drop something. If what you drop is heavier than the air around it, it will fall. If it is lighter than the air around it, it will float up. If it's in between, the shit might just float right in front of you. Simple stuff. And that we don't move at 1,060 miles per hour. And that water does not trust me, just look into this and you will find, at the very least, that the flat earth theory is based on complete practicality. And you'll find out that every image of earth is a composite, meaning composed of other images and made in the ball up shape of the earth. There is no real legitimate picture of the entire earth from space. There is no real picture of any planets from space too. Those are all computer generated images. I didn't think this at first. I just took it for granted. I watched this shit on TV. I see space, I see stars, I see Saturn, I see Earth in the sky and everything. I think everything is just what it is. I think it's true. I think these are pictures that they take with their advanced super technology. But when you look it up, you will find out that that is all computer generated. It always has been. Even since the 50s, it's been computer generated. Look it up. NASA themselves even admit it. So, a little bit more of a rant. Also, to touch on weaponry and stuff like that, the California wildfires. I was looking at this. This is very interesting stuff. The recent California wildfires are everything burning. If you really look into that, you will find that a lot of stuff, a lot of cars, a lot of wood and certain things were cindered to a consistency that a normal fire would not cinder something. Like, all right, I'm making up the numbers here. I forget the actual numbers, but let's say 500 degrees is what it takes is the max that a fire will burn something at, right? A natural fire from a wildfire or whatever, right? Okay, well, we have things, we have appliances, we have ovens, we have cars, like the actual metal and steel, that takes way more than 500 degrees for it to cinder, for it to actually burn. If you look up a lot of house fires, you look up a lot of fires, you will see that cars will still stand. The paint may be off the shit, but the car itself will still be intact because it takes, like, let's say, making up a number now, 20,000 degrees to burn the car or melt the steel, right? But in the California wildfires, everything caught a body. Everything got burnt to a crisp or melted or cindered or exploded or disintegrated. And it was just not consistent with the temperatures that a regular fire would burn something. Now, again, I'm making up numbers, 500 degrees, but shit that takes 20,000 degrees was being cindered. You could go back and look up the numbers. I'm just speaking this off the cuff. I would have had those numbers ready if I meant to throw this in. It is just off the top of the dome. But look it up yourself and you'll find out the actual numbers that a California wildfire would burn something and the shit that did get burnt, what it takes. So basically, the ongoing theory is that these are weather weapons that they're using. It's been admitted that the government and the world governments own and are fucking with them lasers, with laser technology, and lasers can like disintegrate things at remarkable temperatures with ease. So that's a big nefarious thought to be nefarious deed upon our government, upon our controlling heads of the world government or whomever, be it an accident where they were shooting a laser at something, it bounced off something and just caught wreck on California, or if it was intentional, it's unknown, but it's something worth looking into. So yeah, definitely do look into that. Let me see if I got any other notes. If not, we're going to get up out of here. Flat Earth means they have to turn it up. Oh yeah. Another thing also, with the big flat Earth truth, as I consider it to be, coming out, motherfuckers are turning up now. Now we're probably going to see more anomalies in the sky because they're probably going to do whatever they can to counter the flat Earth revelation and reality, as I see it, that's been coming about. So they're probably going to go with the alien shit. We're probably going to hear about more disclosures and secret files and everything, and things that have been like, like the Phil Snyder story, how he had the shootout with the aliens. They took his fingers off and all that googly gaga Google shit. You're going to have a lot more shills coming out talking that alien shit just to counteract the flat Earth shit, because they know people. Look, psychology, we know that we love the fantastic. We love to hear the fantastic. And to hear that the fantastic has been validated and it actually is true, oh shit, there are aliens, well, there goes your flat Earth theory. You know what I'm saying? So, people out there, be level-headed, be practical, look into things, but be very open-minded. I'm still open-minded to the existence of aliens from other dimensions, or I'm open-minded to the possibility that space does exist. But I'm also open-minded to know that space existing on the level or the consistency that we've been told, and that our Earth is balled up at the consistency and at the measurements that we've been told, that is totally false. That has been proven false. So look it up, like, share, subscribe, fuck with your man right here, and yeah, keep that mind open. Peace.